The expressions and conversations on this show are simply your truth and your views. It's a platform where there is no judgment, no preconceived beliefs, and no fear. There is no right or wrong response, so speak freely, speak confidently, and speak your mind. Just remember to do it with respect. With that being said, let's toast to health, wealth,
and the motherfucking self.
And we're back to another episode of Toast and Talk. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is D. Will, and our co-host is
the infamous G Money.
All right. And we have a special guest today. And we have Tiff.
Hi guys, how you doing?
All right. I don't know if I'm picking you up.
How you doing?
Okay, now I got you. All right. So, as usual, this is a safe space. You can come and have talk about anything that you want to talk about. No judgment, as long as you do it with respect.
We're going to talk about shit you don't want to talk about.
Yeah. We're going to touch them hard topics. But before we get started.
I'm not touching no hard topics, bro.
Yikes.
You're out of control.
Man, you started already.
It's you.
Before we start, we're going to start out with a toast.
To health, wealth.
And your motherfucking self.
Salute. That's good. Shout out to 50. Bronson VSOP Cardiac. Wait a minute.
That hit right there.
What happened now?
That hit right there in the spot. Yes.
What happened?
Hit the good spot.
Really? Wow. So we're going to get into it. We have a special guest, as we said, Tiff. Understand that you are a...
Tell the people about you. Where are you from? Let's start with that. Where you from, Tiff?
Let's start off. So I am from the good old 757 Hampton Roads down in.
Shout out to 757.
I heard about
Oh. Graduated from Kellum High School. Went to school at Norfolk State. Behold the green and gold.
Norfolk.
All day, every day.
NAW.
So I majored in sociology as my undergrad, and I went back to school and got my master's in school psychology, school counseling. So I have the mental health background. So when I was living down in Virginia Beach, I worked in Norfolk and over there by
You're missing some
Northview.
syllables on Norfolk, aren't you?
No. NAW.
Norfolk.
Okay, all right. My bad. My bad.
That's how we say it.
Okay.
So I worked in a Title I school down there by Northview High School, Northview, down there with my privileged children, underprivileged children. You know, they have a safe spot in my heart because for me, I was always a sheltered child, so I didn't see the other aspect of growing up in the hood and, you know, going to the corner store. So I always kind of have this respect for them because they are always in that challenge fight mode on how to get out of the hood to where I didn't have to have that flight or fight mode. And so a lot of the families respect me.
Bougie,
for
you
that.
mean?
You can call it what you want.
Spoiled?
Hood bougie.
Not hood bougie.
Hood bougie, but that's what you call it. But yeah, so.
That's good.
So how long have you... Well, first, shout out to being a counselor in the school system. Hey, you're doing big things there.
It's a lot of work.
Is it hard work?
Absolutely, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of mental brain power, to be honest with you. Because you can be there physically, but mentally you have to be there for a lot of different things because you get stuff thrown at you left and right. Parents are emailing you, calling you, saying they had a death in the family, they need grief counseling, they have kids who are not coming to school, you got kids who are, you know, just don't know how to go from point A to point B. So it's definitely a lot.
That's deep. That's deep. So, kind of one of the things that I've seen is, and it was kind of mind-boggling to me that suicide rate is high in the actual middle schools, elementary schools, more than it has ever been, historically. So, do you see that?
It wasn't really high until actually when COVID hit. So when COVID hit, that's when you saw an increase of the mental health and suicide rate in students because the students were constantly watching the news on what they were seeing and not what they're being told. So they always believe what social media instead of doing the research. So, you know, they believe everything that they see on TV instead of just giving them the real aspect of doing your research on what it actually is and how it can affect the family. That's when it came a lot. Like, we had a lot of students who didn't want to come to school during COVID. They missed majority of the school because they felt as though if they come into the building, they're going to catch COVID.
Right.
Yeah, so that's...
Shout out to
it's a lot.
fake news.
Absolutely.
Shout out to fake news.
So let's take that a step further. I think that, and you know, you can correct me wrong when I'm wrong, but you're, you know, because you're the subject matter expert on this. But like when we were in high school, we may have had that one bully, okay, and that one bully was that one person or that two people that's out there. Now with the evolution of social media and whatnot. You can post the wrong thing on social media, and now you have tens and thousands of bullies bullying you. Do you think that's kind of an impact to some of the things that you see as far as mental health in the school system?
Yeah, actually, it's kind of grown into like gang bullying now. Like you have a group who would target just one student. And it's gotten really bad at this point to where, you know, like the LGBT community and the Black Lives Matters, we've had several incidents within the schools of, you know, the racial slurs, and we have to deal with that, and dress in a certain way.
Y'all deal with the Black Lives Matter at school?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
We had a
Can
student.
you go ahead?
So, without saying names, we had an incident at the school to where Caucasian plainly told a black boy that he was, how can I even put this? He was a faggot, and he was black, and hauled off and slapped him. Like, it was a whole big tobacco for a whole 2 months to where it was...
Those two
it was-
different things.
it was divided.
It was the alphabet community, and it was also racial, like your black and white type thing.
And the school at that time was it started to divide. And so what they
Bernie
made,
Mac said, divide like separate.
yeah, like they started making posters and boycotting and going,
And this
doing
high
Google
school?
slides. No, that's middle school.
Whoa, time out.
Yeah, that's middle
I need to
school.
control or delete. I thought you were a high school. This is middle school?
This is middle school.
So a 12 to 14-year-old has to deal with this?
Absolutely, every day.
It's no way. It's no way. Because I really thought we were talking about high school level.
No, this is middle
Children.
school. No, this is middle school.
Wow.
Middle school is rough. Like, a lot of people don't understand. Like, middle school is the age where these students are trying to find themselves.
Yeah, it is
and
coming in 2 years, yeah.
yeah, so they're trying to find themselves. They're trying to find their friend groups. Then they're trying to deal with stuff at home when you have either a two-parent household or you go into two different households every other weekend. So it's a lot of combinations built into that. And then you have single-parent families who just don't care. Then you have a mom who is going above and beyond helicopter parent. That's what they call a helicopter.
Above and beyond. I
Above
like
and
that.
beyond.
I like
Mhm. Which is called a helicopter parent. And you just have these parents who are just absent. So you have a whole mixture.
What they call
Absent.
school skippers.
Absent.
The
Yeah.
ghost parents.
The ghost.
Yeah,
Absolute
listen,
ghost.
I came up with that. I like
Ghost.
put
They
that
don't
out there.
answer emails.
I came up with
don't
that.
answer
Shout out to.
Shout out to the ghost parents. Yeah.
Oh wow. Now, do you see? What are some of the parents' interactions that you see?
You know, as an adult, as a counselor, you have to filter a lot. You have to be a politician in school as a counselor because
You got a lot of fucking
you have to
got
be
a
a
lot of
politician.
jobs.
You can't say what's on your mind to half of these parents because nowadays people record stuff, they put it on social media, they're quick to get a
and then
lawyer.
now you're bullied.
And yeah, like
lack
I'm
of better
harassing
words.
them or I'm bullying. With some parents, when I can tell who I have to be political correct with and who I can just be real with. And the ones I can be real with is the parents who be like, no, you call me X, Y, and Z, or you shoot me this email X, Y, and Z. And I have to be,
When you say be real, right?
and when I say I'm being real, I'm like, at what point are you going to hold your child responsible for doing X, Y, and Z?
Oh, you mean professionally real? I thought you were talking about 757 real life.
I can't go that far.
Bitch. Let me
I
tell you
mean,
what this
because in the back of
motherfucker
your
did.
mind, you be cussing them out, but in professional world, you have
You're
to like,
just
at what
smiling
point,
and-
like,
'Cause-
you're babying them. Because
'cause-
when you get to high school, this could be a whole different. It's an animal beast in high school.
right.
Because you know, as a parent, you know, your child is never wrong. You know,
Absolutely.
you know, your child could have been, you know, dead caught into something, but nah, it's somebody else's fault.
I want to know, why didn't you do this then?
Yeah.
Like King had an incident in the beginning of the year. One of the other friends brought a lighter to school. King being King went in the bathroom, let me see the lighter, lit some paper on fire. It started going too fast. He throws it in the trash can. Not the sink where there's water or the toilet, in the trash can. The whole damn school has to be evacuated because there's a fire in the bathroom.
Goddamn Smokey the Bear was not around on that one, huh?
So now
He thought
they
he was
want,
doing the right thing.
right, they want to expel him and all this stuff. So now Dad has to drive from Virginia to Philly because Dad is the disciplinarian, for lack of better words, right? I'm the point of contact for disciplinary reasons, right? So now my son was not wrong. Why did y'all let him go to the bathroom anyway? We ain't got no metal detectors in here.
Right.
I'm one of those parents.
But
I'll deal with you at home.
we don't have a lot of parents like you or myself or my husband. We don't have a lot of parents who will actually take the initiative to stop what they're doing to get off work to come handle the situation right then and there. We have a lot of parents now who are trying to be their friend
No.
and not get down to the root of the problem. And so what a lot of people don't understand, these kids might be laughing and playing and joking, but they have real life issues at home.
Right.
So they might not have food, clothes. They come to school with the same shoes, same clothes, and not wash. And so we recently had to advocate to get a washer and dryer at the school, so some of these kids can at least wash clothes before they go home, or at least change to something, because they come there.
And again, this is middle school.
This is middle school, and yeah, that's over there by Fort Belvoir and Mount Vernon. So the population is very diverse,
Yeah.
very, very, very diverse.
You have the military dependents, and then you have
The kids on Route 1.
right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's
You know what I did not realize? I did not realize that, you know, when COVID hit, and, you know, it's just probably me being oblivious to it, like when COVID hit, some kids, their only meals were at school. And so when they were not able to go to school, you know, that's when they started, you know, some schools got good at it and they caught on real quick to deliver meals to the homes or whatever, at the bus stops or whatnot. And but, you know, that's just a reality slapper right there that, you know.
there's a commercial. I don't, not word for word verbatim. Something like that. Like, what about when such and such comes to school and they go for a walk during recess so their friends can see they don't have lunch money and something. It's a really deep commercial if you listen to it. Like, hunger is a real thing.
Yeah.
And it's not just the people that are outside begging.
So, you know, within the school, you know, we try to ask all the families if you need assistance with, like, Thanksgiving. We actually made baskets for them, like the turkeys and everything they needed for Thanksgiving. And not just in our population, it happens in the Hispanic population as well. They're the more ones who need the more help than we do, because we can piggyback on the village. The Hispanics normally don't really have that because they're migrating into the United States. And a lot of families were like, no, I don't need it.
Pride.
They get that pride in the way of like, I don't need the assistance, but at the end of the day, you need it. Just take it.
Right.
It's nothing for you to just have, just to spare.
But-
You know, the kids come, they don't eat that lunch. That lunch be nasty. Like, Miss Clemens, that lunch is nasty. I'm like, well,
You
what
ain't
did
got
you
no
eat?
other
This? I
option.
said,
Right.
what you gonna eat? You got some oodles and noodles? No.
No
You have this-
nutritional
you have-
value.
You have this
But it's-
apple in this, you know,
It's
stuff.
wild that how far pride goes. Annually, we do for Christmas we do a give back. We create meals. We take donations. We create and we go get the food, prepare the meals. A quick meal for the less fortunate, the homeless and the less fortunate. We give away socks, blankets, jackets. You know, whatever we can collect and or purchase with, you know, was
Right.
donated. And last year, I actually had a homeless dude. I had two moments, and it was in the same day. I had one guy wrapped in a blanket and asked him, did he want some food? He was like, yeah, I'll take that, brother. He was like, but you know what I really need? And he opened the blanket, and he had no pants on. He said, I don't have no pants. I gave him my pants. Luckily, my buddy had some other pants in the car. I'm not going to pretend like I'm a superhero. My buddy had some other pants in the car, but I gave him my pants, right? And like that was a lot for me. And King was with us, so like he got to see that. So you want this and want that, but he needs that, right?
Right.
We bend the block. We go to the shelter. So we have so much food. We're literally trying to just give it away. Take 3 plates if you want them, brother. And one dude was like, is it good?
See,
And I was like, I don't know, brother. You determine it.
see.
Took it, looked at it, opened it. Man, I don't want this shit. And threw it in the air. And birds came. And everybody that know me know I don't fuck with birds. So at this point,
Had to go.
I'm out of here.
Right, right.
But it was like, how, like he was that prideful. But just 2 people before him that I was talking to, the guy was like, y'all can have both of these pair of socks? Yeah. Can I put them on right now? Yeah. Do you mind if I touch you? What do you need to touch me for? I said, I just want to hold your shoulder while I put these socks on. Yeah, go ahead, brother. And
He
it's like,
asked you.
dang, like this dude just wants socks. This dude, doesn't have food, but he's willing to say, man, fuck this food. This
Right.
ain't what I want.
Right. The kids are that way too.
Why?
The kids are always eating chips and Takis, and I'm like, you have
That's your meal.
a whole. But the school provides them. But now they started when COVID hit, they didn't have to pay for food. Now they have to put money on their account,
Yeah.
and you know now these families don't have the funds to even do that.
Okay. Did you eat the school lunch?
I tried it, of course.
Did you eat
Do
the
you
lunch,
eat
D-Will?
the school lunch?
Do I eat it? Yeah, every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
D-Will, did you eat the school lunch when you was in school?
Yeah, I did.
I ate it now. School lunch is different.
Virginia
back-
Beach had school lunch,
We
good
had-
lunches. I don't know
We
what y'all
had
talking
them
about.
banging chicken sandwiches back
Yeah.
in the day, but now these chicken sandwiches are a whole lot different because you go to the bathroom right after.
Yikes.
They helping you out.
Conversation always go to shit.
It always goes to shit.
It always
God
does.
almighty. Yo, let's spin the block again. Let's spin the block because we were talking about social media bullying, right? Who was the bully in y'all's high school? Do you remember them? Like, as Tiff was saying that, I was sitting here thinking, like, damn, who was the bully at Ocean Lakes?
I don't even know.
I don't remember us having
I
any
don't-
bullies,
we ain't
but
really
we had
had.
some people that could fight.
Oh, we had plenty of fights.
Yeah, we have people that can fight.
God almighty.
My-
Jamie Stone. Shout out to Jamie
Yeah,
Stone.
Jamie Stone.
When this airs, we will not edit that out. Shout out to Jamie Stone.
Ashley and Jaime.
Oh, they got down to get down.
Done them Blackwater boys.
Yeah,
Blackwater.
it was a little different.
It was a crew.
It was a little different. God almighty.
But we was always into sports. Like sports back then was always what we gravitate to. Nowadays is sports. You have to be able to be on the outside team to be able to come into the inside team.
Yep.
So in middle school, there's no sports, which I kind of disagree because if you have sports in middle school, you kind of have that leadership and discipline to where a coach is able to get to you quicker than a high school coach. Because if you play on a high school team, you got to wait 4 years in order to get on a team.
At 15, 16, I have my perception on life and people already.
What's that?
I'm saying
Middle school,
ninth grade. I'm
Middle
saying,
school? They don't even know what they would
No,
do.
that's what I'm saying. At ninth grade, and you're saying you want to be my coach now, and you want to grab me by my jersey. Hey, what are you doing? I honestly want to fight you.
Yeah.
But if I understood the structure and this is how football goes in middle school, coach is gonna yell. He's passionate about this, as I should be.
Absolutely.
Then it would be different. So yeah, I agree with that. There should be sports in middle school.
But being on a rec league is different than being on like a travel team or a real team.
Oh,
A
yeah.
rec league is different. Like you can just,
I'm paying for my son to play.
right. I don't
Paying
have to pay. You
And
need to
the
earn
fine
your spot.
mamas, I ain't gonna lie, the fine mama sons do get a little bit more time than the little pookie mama.
But you need to earn your spot. If you say your child is good, then he needs to be able to play and earn that spot on that team.
Or your mama could be fine.
We're not playing favoritism.
I didn't say favoritism, I said fine mama.
Okay. But anyways, but you know, like
Get
recently.
that boy the ball, man. Like, get him in there, see what he can do, man.
But to piggyback, middle school is a real life struggle for a lot of these kids, and so we recently did like a suicide and depression survey just on our 7th graders
This is crazy.
coming back, and we had to, and we have a lot of students. I want to say about 40% who had to do a risk assessment on. That means they're either depressed or they're thinking about suicide or they thought about it in elementary or they've done it. And we have a lot of kids who come from residential to come back into public school.
Wow.
It's changed since COVID hit.
So I got 2 questions for you. One, does the school promote mental health
Yes.
counseling? Okay, good. Now, is your doors open up to them crazy ass teachers?
Of course. But do they come? No. Because to be honest with
I
you,
like the son.
the teachers are halfway the problem.
Exactly. That's why I asked.
The teachers are halfway the problem because they can't recognize what it is. When you see a child acting out, doesn't mean you have to either put your hands on them or yell at them. They already getting yelled at home. They already probably getting their hands put on them at home. You adding more fuel to the fire.
Now they don't want to come to school either.
They
Yeah.
want to come to school, but don't get mad when the student's cussing you out. That means you have not done your job as a teacher as building that healthy relationship. Once that's the first thing you need to do the first week of school is build that relationship with your students. Then you'll know your background and dynamics of your students.
Possible outlet.
And then just that student to teacher ratio is very, very important, I think,
It
to
is.
actually be able to get to know, who's who, one, and then to get to know their kind of more than them just by an attendance roll book. Hey, Johnny is
Hey,
not,
Ron.
Johnny
Balake.
Johnny is not going to have, a pencil half of the time. All right. Susie is always going to be kind of late. All of that other stuff
Gary
that
gonna
you,
be asleep in
that
the
you,
back.
that you need to know about the students to kind of, be in tune with them, to be in touch with them, and not just, once again, not just another roll call.
And that's why the education is going down as for teachers because it's hard. When you have at least 30 students in a classroom and you got like at least 4 disciplined students in your classroom, now you gotta deal with discipline and try to teach a lesson. Like it's hard.
You wait, Paul. You almost pulled a Herschel Walker. You almost pulled a Herschel Walker. You said you got to deal with the election.
She almost
A
said,
lesson
Yeah.
and discipline. It's kind of hard. So I've been in classrooms to where I had to put a student on. I'm like, and I had to be real. I was like, this is what we doing today? They're like, what you mean? I said, so you just gonna sit and cuss her out, slam out, and not think I'm not gonna say nothing to you? Well, she had to say. I said, at what point are you just gonna let it go? And he was like, well, what do you mean? I said, everything she says, you don't have to have a rebuttal for. He was like, but she doesn't hear me. I said, there's a way of you being heard without cussing her out. He said, well, how am I supposed to do that? I said, raise your hand. He said, "Oh."
And then cuss her out when she quit.
I said, raise your hand, ask your question. Like, I don't like how you talking to me. I said, if you tell her one-on-one that you don't like how she's talking to you, that's being more respectful than you cussing her out in front of everybody in the classroom. He's like,
This how I would did. I would raise my hand.
It cussed out.
Miss. You better watch your fucking mouth. That's all I know.
And the funny thing, I had a student who said that to her.
Watch your
Wow.
fucking mouth.
I was just like,
But this blows my mind that we're talking about middle school. These are 7th and 8th graders.
It's insane, man.
It's
It is crazy.
very much different.
I'm trying to think. 7th and 8th graders like chill out for me. Like
But think about how we grew up and now. Like, how we grew up is so much different than now. We had parents who was always on us, who, you know, go to school, get good grades, do X, Y,
I had
and Z.
sports too. So
Yeah, you was always constantly busy. These kids go home, they gotta watch their siblings, they gotta make sure they cook dinner, they gotta make sure that, you know, their homework is done, even if they get to that homework.
And I gotta try to get in her house for her mama get home and get out right quick. Best 4 minutes of her life. We about to have.
Shout out to the Tiptoe Burglars.
Yes, Sirsky.
Tiptoe, tippity
Yes,
tip.
Sirsky. Basketball shorts, baby. And slides.
Behind the bleachers.
Wherever
And
they
then
can
you
go down.
get kids raising kids.
Mm.
Yeah, shout out to being a high school parent.
So, to kind of circle back and kind of get in that car again, is the LGBTQ
Alphabet.
Plus,
Let's
Plus.
say alphabet.
is that touching the middle school as well?
absolutely.
And Houseway.
So, you know, we now in school we have the they can be identified as he, she, her, them,
Pause.
they.
Can you confirm
Oh,
this?
Yeah.
Can you confirm this?
Yes,
I'm trying to fact check
Please.
this.
Okay.
This was crazy.
All right. If I blatantly call someone outside of their pronoun, I can get punished in school.
Suspended or suspended.
No. Because you didn't know or
What if I did know?
then it could be an honest mistake.
Okay.
But you can't get punished. Like some kids, like I tell the kids, tell me what you want me to call you. Then I'll call you by that name. I said, because we're not just going to go around in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
What would you prefer for me to call you?
Okay.
What if he said husband?
That's what it is.
Well, look here, husband. You gonna take your ass back in this
But
classroom.
we would have a conversation. I said, so how did you come up to that name? Like,
You asked me what I wanted to be today.
you're right, but I asked you a question. Well, how did you come up with this name? Like, what does this name mean to you?
You are good. You are fucking outsmarting people.
You know, because I was like, well, how
You
did
are
you come
good.
up with this name? Like, what does this name mean to you and why?
Because now when I thought I was outsmarting, you be like, oh, call, what I want to be, call me husband. Because I'm thinking immediately you're gonna say, okay, husband.
I'm like, okay,
But you didn't say that. You said, okay. So how did you come up with that?
right. Because I want to know the background on why you chose this name.
I don't know. It was slick. I thought it was gonna be funny, and you messed
Okay,
it all
so
up.
how do you think it's going to be perceived when you say, hey, my name is so-and-so?
No, you said what I want you. Never mind. Just call me Gary. Golly,
I'm not
messed
going to
it
call
all
you
up.
Gary. I'm going to call you by your preferred name.
That's what I said, Gary.
However, when your parents call me, I'm going to go by your government name.
My mama
Because
don't even
I
call me
have
that.
to. Because we do that because if your parent doesn't know that you go by a different name, I can get in trouble.
You mean like when you change your outfit when you leave
Of
the house?
course, when you
They
change
don't
your
know that's what
outfit,
you wore to
your
school.
shoes. Yeah.
Shout out to the people that dang on used to change their outfit.
I seen a little girl doing that recently
They do it all the
outside.
time.
I
Mhm.
seen it. It was hilarious.
So as a parent, like I had an incident. The student wanted to be called Toby. The parent had no knowledge.
Come on now.
I'm serious.
You making this up
I
now?
call Cat,
No,
man.
no.
I call Cat.
No. I'm serious. Student wanted to be called Toby.
Instead of Tobias.
No, Toby.
What was?
But I had to
what was-
explain.
If you say Kunta, I'm leaving.
And they
If
kicked
you
it.
say the boy name was Kunta, I'm leaving. What was the real name?
What was
I
the?
can't
No, you know
remember.
what? We can't. No, what?
I can't remember.
We can't
Yeah.
even reveal that.
So the
This is.
But I
this
had
is
to
crazy.
explain to you. I said, if you change your name, you know, this will be on your diploma when you graduate. And he was like, okay. So when we do certificates, we had to put the preferred name. So when the certificate went home, the mom didn't know.
Who it is?
Who that is?
Pep you the store.
She was like, well, who is this? This is not such and such. This is not her government name, da 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 da. And I'm like, ma'am, this is her name. She is at the age, the law changed. Like, students can now change their name without their parents'
What?
knowledge. Yes.
Whoa.
Hold on. Pause.
Yes.
That was new.
It's not new. It's a
No,
government law.
that was new.
At what age?
At middle school, the students are allowed to change their name.
So did you
Without
go
their
to school
parents?
and say, I want to be Batman?
This joker can go to school and say,
Yes.
wow,
Wow.
this is wow.
It is a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
It
It's
is
a lot.
a lot going on. And we thought it was just, not we per se, the Toast and Talk podcast. I'm going to say me. Let me use that. I thought it was just from the alphabet community.
Nope.
I thought it was just merely the alphabet community. You go from FTM or MTF, like, and that was it. A joke could wake up. Matter of fact, I had one of my clients' daughter who was here. I'm not sure she's middle school or high school. She said that I'm not sure what school she goes to either. But she is new. I moved up here from down south, and she said that if someone identifies as male or female, and or a furry,
Transgender.
no,
That's what it is.
oh, furry is a transgender. See, I learned something again today. She said a furry, right? And if you do not address them as that, you will be suspended from school, and that's what we were asking. So in my
In
brain,
Fairfax County?
so in my brain, I was
Yeah,
like, furry.
that's why I was trying to fact check that, because I've heard that also. Like, hey, if if my
is
pronoun was, if I decided my pronoun was she or shim, and
Jim, you want me both of them?
then somebody just called me outside of my pronoun, that is, from what I heard, like I said, that's why I was trying to fact check it.
There
That
is
it was
suspensions, but it depends on the level of it. Like,
Right.
if you're just calling someone's name, well, the LGBT community, yes, you can get suspended or you have a day in school suspension, but it's not like a long-term thing. Like, that's considered for them slander.
So can my son identify as being cold and wear his hood on his head?
That's what
So
they're
I'm one of
always
those.
being.
I'm one of those petty parents. Like
I am too.
my son identifies as being cold. Why can't he put his hood on his head?
And that's a trend going on. Like, kids are in the building with their hoodies on all day.
So in
in
Philly,
the
you
hot
can't.
summer.
You can't even wear it if it has a hood on it.
Absolutely not. We tell them
But
every day to take it
my
off.
son
That and the-
identifies, and you have to use the word identifies, as cold
But why?
because he's cold.
Okay, everybody in the building can be cold. I'm just being political in what the principal's going to say.
Oh, you wanted him. Come on, sister.
I'm just saying, it makes me know, never mind, as long as your schoolwork is good. I don't do the nitpick.
Did you do the schoolwork?
As long
Yeah.
as you were there doing work and you're not being disruptive,
So
it doesn't bother me.
On schoolwork, how do you feel about the No Child Left Behind?
I think they need to take it back.
I think they do need to rescind that.
Because a lot of
It's
kids
bogus.
right now, their reading level is on like a third grade level.
Sheesh.
And I always have that discussion, like, hey, with the No Child Left Behind, and you really can't fail a student now.
You know?
So
This is going to be
I'm just
the
here.
future workforce that we're going to be looking for.
yeah,
You
these are
know,
people that
so
we're hiring for our businesses.
yeah. So when I give said task and said task don't get done, and they like, well, shoot,
I know
I
how
was
to do that.
I was used to doing it this way.
That's because they're spoiled. A lot of these kids are spoiled and they get what they want because they're able to put it on social media and complain, and the parents will come up here and complain and make threats, and that's why that came on No Child Left Behind. But when in reality, your child is left behind because he can't even do basic math. We have a lot of minorities who are not in honors classes like math and science. We don't have a lot of minorities. I can count on one hand a percentage of minorities who is taking geometry or foreign language. you have a lot of the Hispanics who are taking the fluent Spanish class or the French.
The ESLs
But-
and stuff.
Yeah, my ESOL students, but a lot of us Black African American students, no.
It's crazy that
But-
I looked at a job earlier. Sure, one of them sites. I was like, y'all want an overnight security job? I want to be like old Otis somewhere, man. And it said mandatory must be bilingual. And I was like, I speak a little bit. And it said, then when you click apply, it says again, mandatory bilingual. Never mind.
You gotta think of the area of the
Can I use my app?
that Google Translate.
Yeah.
Hey, that Google Translate works wonders, man.
Hey, motherfucker like freeze. Like,
Yeah, but the no
I ain't
child
doing
left
shit.
behind.
shit.
I think it just needs to be revamped. Giving the student 50% when they didn't do no work, I don't think they deserve any type.
That's
of
insane. Can you break that down a little bit further? Because people don't understand that.
Yeah, so if a student doesn't do any work at all, they get 50%, which means they get 50% of a grade, which doesn't make any type of sense. So a student who is actually putting in work can get like 100%, but a student who just sits there and does nothing gets 50%. You can't give them a 0 now, or you can't give them a no score, incomplete. They
So I
have to
got
have
50%.
something.
And
And
if
the
I
kids
wrote
think it's okay.
and if I wrote a couple things down, I may get that 60%.
You might get, yeah.
That's a D.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And I can just
Cruise on out with that, baby.
hey, Vaseline high, slid in, slid out.
Slid in, slid out.
You know what I mean?
But if you notice, like some of the students receive services like a IEP or a 504.
Wait, time out.
An IEP
Only
is a-
504 is I want you wobble wobble.
shake it, shake
Yeah,
it.
you need to tell us what these acronyms mean,
So
man.
IEP is an individualized
Individualized
education
Education program.
All right, that's twice now. Twice, Herschel.
educational program. So that means they get services through co-taught classes. So that means they have 2 teachers in the classroom to get that additional assistance,
Back in our day, we called it special ed.
which it is special ed.
Okay, let's just use that.
Okay, well, special education. And then the 504 is just accommodations, which you don't need the IEP. You just need the teacher to make sure that you're doing the work, writing in your planner, seating in the front, and extending time on the test. And then with the IEP, that means you need that additional pull out of the class of the reading and the math. Someone sit with you one-on-one to break everything down to you, so you can understand what's going on.
So a little tink tink there. Can't get right.
There's a lot of them who can't get right. And that's bad for us community because,
Again, this is
We-
middle school we're talking
Uh-huh.
about, guys.
and not saying that the IEP is bad because
No,
it
it's not
actually
if
it's
you need
actually
it.
beneficial for you because you can carry it all the way to high school till you graduate.
But okay, so I think a lot of teachers don't take the time to identify how everybody learns individually because you have such a big classroom setting. I'm just picking a number, 20 to 30 students. I can't take the time to say, okay, Gary's a visual learner, or this person is. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm putting the information out. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, raise your hand and ask me. If you don't, that's on you.
Right. So we as counselors, we have to teach lessons. So like on Monday, we're teaching lessons on feelings and emotions, and we have a whole PowerPoint. Okay, cool.
Are y'all gonna play H Town?
What?
Emotion make you cry sometimes.
No.
You have to
Go
play
crazy.
that. You have to make them.
Okay, I'll
understand
find
that.
it. I'll find the edited version and I'll record it. See how they go.
Good job. See, that's
Okay.
what, that's
They
what
not
you
gonna know what that is.
Right.
You are a helicopter counselor.
So me as teaching a lesson, I have to survey my audience. So if I'm teaching a class that has a lot of discipline, I'm going to pull those kids who are constantly talking. Hey, come be my helper
Assistant,
today.
my helper,
Come
right.
do this. Tell me what this means. Read this. Do X, Y, and Z.
Occupy their attention.
Yeah, you got to get them engaged. Like I'll have a ball and I have a number. I'm like, hey, I'm going to pass the ball to you. This number means so-and-so. What emoji matches your emotions today?
Emoji.
Yeah, the kids, they all
what they
into
relate
texting.
to.
That's
They
what
relate to.
So I gotta
But
teach
that's
the
what you
emoji.
have to do.
Oh my gosh. So I have a question. I mean, guess may not even be a question, maybe a statement. I think that, if said child is failing in math, and I think there should be programs where you teach the parent that math too as well, because I think a lot of said children are not passing math like you said because the parent don't know how to teach the math. The parent don't know how to reinforce the skills that the school is trying to teach or whatever. So open up them programs where the parents can actually learn it, because let's be real, I probably forgot more of the math than I actually are able to actually learn right now as I'm able to do it right now. So if I were to help, a middle school student out in math right now, I'd probably be sucking wind because I just forgot.
So, having
We can see you on the camera. It's fine.
It's okay. Security.
Security.
having it's just weird when you say teach the parents. The first step is acknowledging the parents even wanting to have to come to school to get that lesson. Getting them in the building is one of the hardest things. They always question like, well, can we do a Zoom? How are you going to learn anything on a video? You got to do hands-on. Like,
I remember back in our day, if I gotta leave my damn job to come to that school,
absolutely.
Boy, I'm whooping that ass.
But then the other thing is transportation. A lot of these parents don't have transportation to get to school. So it's just like, it's a catch-21. And I do agree we need to have these programs. However, like, how are we getting them from point A to point B? They don't even want to come to PTA meetings.
What?
No.
Wow.
So it's hard trying to, put in place new programs and stuff like that. Like, we just got to figure it out the best way we can. So, but it's real in middle school.
Real, huh?
it's real.
Shot o'clock, hey, shot o'clock, bitch, shot o'clock.
It only means one thing.
To health, wealth.
Motherfucking self.
Yes, sir.
With that being said,
You're supposed to talk after your shot before you consume a beverage. That's like the shot rules. We
Oh.
need to know that your palate.
that you actually took it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That you actually took it.
'Cause we,
I actually did because of the burn.
you do know one of our close colleagues, El Jizzle, is notorious for spitting her shot down in her straw.
Oh,
Yeah, LG
really?
is a cheater.
but I
LG
did
is a
not
cheater.
actually.
Um.
Got it.
So before we go on break, I think it's Tea and Cake Creations.
TAK Creation, yes sir.
Tell us about Tea and Cake Creations. I see the mug right there. You might as well go and kind of put it out there for
Turn
us.
around.
Turn that-
So, I created this during the pandemic.
Okay.
I am very creative, so I like to sew, do a lot of things with my hands. So I thought, since I'm sitting
Can
at
you
home,
do gang signs?
no.
Her hands are small to do gang signs. Look
can't
how
even do
hands.
it. So since I'm at home, I was like, well, maybe I can do masks. So I started getting the materials to sew masks with the sewing machine, sew them and sell them. And I was like, okay, maybe I could expand this a little bit more. So I started making T-shirts with my partner and assistants, my husband Corey. And so
Shout out to Corey.
Shout out to Corey.
Won't he do it?
AKA security.
he
And
taught
bouncer.
Me, he taught me a lot more about my sewing skills on how to do certain things, and it grew.
Wait a
from
minute.
there.
He could sew?
Absolutely.
Interesting.
He can sew. And
Interesting.
He taught me how to do, how to measure
Boy
properly.
had culinary arts.
Mm-hmm. Hey, he
Home
was.
ec. Shout
Hey,
out to
Jack
home
of
ec
all
class.
trades.
hey, he was president of home ec, huh?
Yeah, and so now I expanded to custom T-shirts and
Okay.
logos and creative, and now I'm working on a brand new project, which I don't want to say right now.
Nope. Keep it with
till we get it
suspense.
together, but
New project?
a new project.
Give me a project.
So I'm very excited. I want to get it up and running very quickly. So my website is up. TKCreations.com. Go in there and order.
You heard it? Say it one more time for him.
TK Creations LLC.
The letter T,
K.
the letter K,
K.
Mm-hmm.
Creations.
Creations.
All right. With a K.
With
Creations
a K.
with the K.
2 Ks.
All right.
LLC.com.
All right. Are you on Instagram?
I'm on Instagram.
Okay. Same thing?
Same thing.
All right. Good. All right. So, hey, viewers out there, check out Team K Creations.
2K.
2Ks.
Kunta Kinte. Kim Cousin.
Yep.
Kim Kardashian.
Hey, and just to our listeners, our viewers out there, hey, if you like the content, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. And with that being said, we're gonna go into a break.
Y'all got some leftover Thanksgiving up here somewhere? I need some Thanksgiving.